And right now joining us is Nick Bontis and Joe Barile. Guys, welcome here. What a night it has been in the Niagara area. But more importantly, guys, I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple things before we head on up. Nick, let's talk about a big day yesterday, OPDL. It has been approved. It's going through. There's a lot of people that have a lot of questions. Are you for it? And if you are, why?
I'm 100% for it because I think we need elite development competition. The best players in our country must always play against the best players in our country. It's as simple as that.
Well said. Joe, your thoughts on OPDL? Do you have some trepidation? Do you have questions yourself about it maybe?
Absolutely for it. A lot of still unknowns about it. From a district perspective is where I'm coming from. There's still the financial aspect from a district perspective in terms of how are we going to be able to afford it, or how is a club going to be able to afford it. Understandably, maybe from the GT area, maybe more economically feasible, but from an area like Windsor with 7,000 registered players, might be more difficult to make it economically feasible.
Next one, long-term player development. It's the talk of the town, as they say, for the last number of months. Let's talk about one specific thing, to keep scores or not to keep scores. I know for a fact, I have two boys, you have kids, and the kids are smart. They know if the score, what the score is. Your thoughts on to keep scores or not, Nick?
For the purposes of promotion and relegation, we shouldn't. And you're right, the kids and the parents, they know what the score is. But long-term player development is not only the foundation for the OSA and the CSA, but I would also like to add that it's got to be long-term coaching development and also long-term referee development. So those three are critical.
Well said. Your thoughts on to keep scores or not to keep scores, Joe?
I think most importantly, the focus should be away from that question, to keep scores or not to keep scores. I think we look at the reverse of that and say, how many touches in a game, how many touches in a half, how many touches in a quarter. So rather than focusing on a score, we look at what's actually more important is the touches the players have during the game.
Well said. I'll start with you on this one. Facilities. We lack good quality facilities. And I'll ask you this very quickly, Joe. I'm tired of the turf facilities being put up more than the grass quality facilities. I don't mind turf, but I would like to see more first-class grass facilities. Your thoughts?
I think given our climate, given where we're located, turf is a reality, especially if we want to play an extended season. OPDL is looking at using turf in the first 2 months of the season and the last 2 months of the season, and using grass during the summer months. It's a reality. I think with the technology the way it is, turf is a lot better than it was 20 years ago. But there's, as a player, speaking as a player, there's nothing better than playing on a grass field. I agree with you.
Nick, let me tell you this. We're all taxpayers here. We all put in our money. It seems to me when the hockey parents bark, they get what they want. When the soccer parents bark because they need better facilities, they're shooed away. We need people to start speaking up on facilities.
What the soccer community has to do is they have to rally and come together and harmonize with municipal government, because municipal government dictates who builds the next facility. You know that in my hometown of Hamilton, Ontario, we just had our Hall of Fame dinner where we brought 500 soccer lovers together in a community. That's why we have great facilities in Hamilton, Ontario. That's what I want all the communities across Canada to do. Harmonize with municipal government, because they hold the key in terms of building the types of facilities that we want.
Well said. Couple more and we're done. TFC, great that they're in MLS, great that they're giving back, but I hear a lot of negativity out there, Joe, about them coming to clubs and scooping up some of their players. To me, if it was my son they were coming to scoop up, I would be honored. I think here we're doing too much damage instead of positiveness. Your thoughts?
I think we got to get away from the territorial, protectionism of our players and allow them the opportunity, when presented, to play at the highest level. And again, I agree with you. If it was my son and that opportunity came up, I would do it without hesitation.
Your thoughts on the TFC that I just explained?
Toronto FC right now is the elite level soccer in Ontario. So we have no choice, and I say kudos to TFC for actually putting the infrastructure together at the Kia Training Center to bring the youth and elevate them to the highest possible standards.
Well said, Nick. The last one is this, Joe. We'll go with you. Too many times we think of too many people pushing paper, pushing their personal agendas. We forget about the kids, What do we need to do to ensure that the kids are developing properly and having fun?
Other than barring the adults from the game, which would be a dramatic step, I think the focus, I think we have to ignore the ones that are in it for reasons other than the kids. and concentrate on those people that want to focus on the kids and utilize their talents to advance the goals of the game.
Well said. Nick?
I'm just going to say that I'm a volunteer, and there's thousands of volunteers all across Canada who devote not only their time, but their hard-earned effort to the pursuit of increasing this game of ours to the highest level possible. So I want to celebrate volunteerism in Canada, because that is why soccer has that family in our country. The body of volunteers that we have, many of whom do not get compensated at all, who do way more than the call for volunteerism, is outstanding.
Well said, guys. Two classy guys, two solid soccer guys that want to give back. Guys, keep it up. Keep going. And thanks again for joining us here.